Hey guys, welcome back. In this lesson, let us see WebDriver in action. I'm opening up Eclipse here. In initial configuration lesson, we have set up Eclipse to use Selenium libraries and created a sample of code which opens up google.com and closes the driver, quits the driver. And now let us create a new class file to keep it separate so that it helps you to differentiate the lessons. I'll create a new one just for the WebDriver demonstration. So under the Selenium package, I'll create a new class WebDriver. Not to confuse with the WebDriver interface, I will include demo at the end. WebDriver demo. And in here, let us start with creating a main method. Main control spacebar. Select that top one, and I have the main method here. I don't want to type again. Let us grab the code where we did the initial setup for Chrome driver from our test myselenium.java class file. So I will get this and probably including accessing the website. And one more short key I would suggest is Control-Shift-F, which kind of gives us the formatting. So if I do Control-Shift-F, it formats us with the code. It is not so prominent. Let me try doing something like wacky lines of copy and paste, right? And then I will do Control-Shift format. You see that it adjusted the indentation for us. So Control-Shift format, and then I saved it. So this particular program main purpose is to focus on WebDriver methods, right? So WebDriver, we have instantiated a WebDriver object. The name is driver, and we are using Chrome driver. And the first method we are using with the driver object is get. So always keep your API handy. That really helps you to look back what we are doing. So if you look at get, loads a new web page in the current window. That's what that particular method would do. So right after this, what we can do is get the title of the page, right? So that's interesting for us. And then we will try get current URL. And then probably let's see what makes sense in the current situation, like the learning situation we are in. And we will do get page source, which is not so important one, but just for the demo purpose. So let's get to the get title and get current URL. So we were there at getting opening the google.com. Then I will do get title. To refresh your Java memory, so get title is returning a string data type. So it's returning something for us. So, and you should be prepared for that if you want to use it. So since it is returning a string for the title, I will print that out to the console, right? Otherwise, you don't know what the title is. Of course, you can debug, but for convenient purposes, I will sys out that title. Syso control spacebar. I like shortcuts. It saves a lot of typing time. Get title. So we got the title. Now let us do what? I combine both of them into one line of code. I'm not passing into a string and then printing out the string. I'm directly printing whatever the output comes from driver.getTitle. So now let us say driver.getCurrentURL, right? And you want to include the same sysout for this current URL also. Control S, and let us run this at this point of time. Right click, run as Java application. So Java browser is fired up, and since we are not closing the browser, it will stay up there. So let me close it myself. We will add that line of code also in a moment. For now, I need to manually close it. I'm closing it. And you can notice here, title of the page is Google and the current URL is google.com. So both of those are printed. So if you go back and check the title of the page, so this is the title of the page right in the corner of this window on the tab. So we are getting that information by using the method driver.getTitle. This comes in handy when we are testing the applications. So before, if you do any kind of testing like searching functionality of Google or verifying the links of google.com, you want to make sure you're on the right page, right? So one thing to do is get the title of the page. Let us say the website has common title across it. Then you need to check on anything else that you want to grab and make sure you are on the right page. So the get title comes in very handy. And current URL gives us the URL we were on. And now let us get the page source, which will be the source of the source code of that page, HTML page, which might be, large amount of text. So I'm doing driver.getPage source. I will just differentiate this. It's page source. And to concatenate, I need to use the plus, Control S, right click, run as Java application. It fires up the browser, gets the title, and gets the current URL and the page source. I'm minimizing it now. And here you can see a lot of text has been printed out to the console, right? So this is the source of the page. So which means, let me open up the window again. It is as like doing view page source. Once you do view page source, you will get the source code behind that HTML page. It's usually a combination of three things at minimum. One is HTML, JavaScript, and CSS, cascading style sheets. So normally, like I said earlier, you won't be using page source very commonly, but get title, get current URL, driver.quit or close, those are the more common methods you will be using. And the top of all of this is driver.findElement, which we will save it for later lessons. but I will conclude this lesson by using driver.quit so that we have experienced different kinds of methods within the WebDriver. And here driver.quit. I would use quit if I'm sure I'm done with running the tests. So Control S. There is no pointing in sysout, right? We are just quitting the driver. For the matter of knowledge, I will mouse over on the quit, and you can notice driver.quit is returning void. That means it's not returning anything. So that's why the println gives us this little error notification, because it's not returning anything back to us. Remove argument to match println. So there's no println is expecting a string, but nothing has been returned, so that's why it's complaining. So I'll remove. There is no point in printing it out. Control S, right click, run as Java application. Now this time the browser closed at the very end of the test we are doing. So in WebDriver API, we have seen close and quit are similar in the sense, you want to close the browser. Like I mentioned, close is more for pop-up windows. You want to save the parent window. You don't want to close the parent window, but the pop-up window, then you will be using close. Quit kind of closes everything, the WebDriver itself. And we have seen get current URL, get page source, getting the page source of the web page, get title of the page, and from Selenium test automation point of view, find element is most commonly used. We will do when we are doing exercises. Basically, we're trying to find if you want to enter something into the Google search, right? And you need to know this element, whatever this web element name or ID is, to really enter some value. So for that, we will be using find element. So for now, I will conclude this lesson. You can practice using these different methods available on WebDriver. And in the next lesson, we'll talk about web element. And then we will come back to driver.findElement, because driver.findElement deals with returning a web element object. So we need to learn about web element to fully understand how to use driver.findElement. That is the reason I'm saving it for upcoming lesson. With this, I will conclude this lesson. You may now move on to the next one. Thank you.